So yesterday when I mentioned something, I know I came borderline politically incorrect, but I'm just gonna go all in. It, Fuck it, I don't care. Okay, so I noticed that whenever they do a gender swap in Hollywood these days, the woman or actress, yes, I'm using the word actress. I don't care if it's offensive or considered sexist. Actress. Okay, usually is kind of androgynous looking or butch looking, looks like a dyke. Why? And then yeah, has masculine feature and behaves like a man, but with more smugness, like um, like in those Catwoman trailers, which are hilarious. Um, and I think that movie is a deliberate troll job. I believe that the creators of that Batwoman show are not really SJW pandering. I think they're laughing behind the scenes and they actually are not SJWs and they don't celebrate this stuff. I think they're just trolling and trying to get attention because no one would be talking about Batwoman if it weren't for those ridiculous trailers. And like for example, the one where she sticks it to the white man because she takes like a gold watch and gives it to a beggar, homeless beggar. Uh, that one, I was like, they have to be trolling us. Where was I? I got sidetracked. Okay, so there's that Batwoman, and Ruby Rose is the name of the actress. She looks so, yeah, like her appearance. They always have short hair, like a buzz haircut, like the same hairstyle as me, even shorter. I don't get it. What's the point of gender swapping all the time if your idea of gender swapping is just picking a masculine looking woman or butch looking woman with androgynous, like in the new Terminator movie coming out later, and then having that character behave with no feminine characteristics, just behave like a man but more smug. What's the point? It's so weird how in Hollywood now there's a lack of men who just behave like real men and women who behave like women, like traditional women. It's like they're not allowed to have traditionally feminine or masculine personality traits. And it's kind of stupid. This is never going to gain traction in Asia or Eastern Europe or even parts of Western Europe, like in Spain and France. They're not going to eat up this nonsense. All right. What was another point I wanted to get across? Oh, yeah. Despite so much evidence to the contrary, Hollywood seems to think that people want to see ugly actors on screen. Hence, we get Rose Tico in Star Wars, who I don't get this. Why would a group of people, if you self identify as a geek or a nerd type, why would you want to see that on screen? Like, actually, my cousin is one of these types. One of my cousins, he loves the Rose Tico character because she's Asian and he likes that she's a nerd. But I'm the opposite in that I hate that she's portrayed as a nerd from that doesn't belong in the Star Wars universe. I find it embarrassing and just pathetic. When it comes to Asian representation, there are very few examples where it's been done right, and one is Stephen Yun in The Walking Dead, Glenn from The Walking Dead. That's done right because he's just a normal guy. He's not a martial artist. He's not any Asian stereotype. His race is a non-factor in the show. They don't make a big deal out of it, and That's why his character was successful. He's just portrayed as a normal guy. And then in Korea, they recognize that. So he's a superstar in Korea, him being Korean American. All right, another example in the Fast and the Furious series, which is garbage in my opinion, they did have this cool character named Han, who was also Korean American, but they never made his race an issue, a big deal out of it. He just you could swap him with any other with a white guy or a black guy, and he'd be pretty much the same character, and that's what I liked about it. Just acting like it's normal, just organically bringing in more representation. Okay, so there's two characters. What's another one? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anymore. Now, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they introduced Shang-Chi. So it's like a Chinese guy, kung fu Marvel superhero comic book character. And I was a little bit iffy on this. Like an Asian guy doing kung fu. I don't want to see that. But then they brought the actor out, who's a Canadian Chinese guy, and man, that guy he oozed charisma, and I was like, oh, uh, this might be good. Despite the kung fu thing, this could be good. But the other Marvel announcements were embarrassing. Those like the Eternals movie that has Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie. Be, or no, not Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie and a bunch of other people, and they're all for some reason fat, except Angelina Jolie. It looks like they belong to a goofy sitcom. Yeah, yeah. Hollywood, despite so much evidence to the contrary, thinks that we want to see ugly people in movies. uh, man. Whenever I explain to people why they would cast someone like Kelly Mary Tran in Star Wars, and I explain why, their jaws drop. Like they're like, "What the what?" It's like the same reaction I get when I tell my Asian friends in here in Asia that in Canada they actually tried to pass laws to where you get punished legally if you misgender someone by calling them by their wrong pronouns. His jaw dropped. He's just like, what? That's insanity. He couldn't believe it. And this is in Thailand where they have, well, they call them lady boys here. If you were to call them lady boys in the US, like on a university, I bet I would get dogpiled. They get offended about that. But we just call them lady boys here. And they're able to have an adult civil conversation and hear it, which is kind of sad when you think about it, because um, up until recently, Thailand has been considered a developing country, but they have transgender people, many of them in Thailand, so many. And then there are people who are for conversion therapy, and there are those against it, but it's very civil and peaceful. Like, no one gets angry at each other. All the transgender women I meet here in Thailand, most of them are really kind people. The only mean ones I know of are the internet keyboard warriors, or the ones on college campuses in Canada and US or Berkeley that I see online doing protests. Uh, yeah. So yeah, like I'd say like Thailand talking to American universities or Canadian universities, they should probably say, "Hey, grow the fuck up." Okay, that's all I got for now.